Okay, good morning, everybody. Welcome to my kitchen. Although this is not a kitchen update or a kitchen cooking with Joel, this is actually going to be gardening with Joel. And we're going to talk about a couple of different plants that you may have in your house. Now, y'all know on Tuesdays, I'm at the pantry doing my volunteering. And one of the stores that donates food to the pantry is Whole Foods. And a lot of times Whole Foods also donates plants or flowers that they can't necessarily sell in their stores, but they don't want to just throw them away. So I got this really, really cute little owl yesterday. And he's a kind of a palm. And I have him sitting right by my kitchen sink over here. He doesn't require a lot of work. Just once in a while you need to water him. But as long as he's in a not direct sunlight, which he's not really in direct sunlight over here. This doesn't get a lot of direct sunlight. It gets light, but not direct sunlight. So he's just a cute little addition to the house. But these also make excellent little Christmas gifts for if you have friends or family that you don't know what to get for. They're really little. They come with a little instruction book that you take a picture of, and it actually tells you how to take care of the plant. And they're very, very easy to take care of. They require very, very little maintenance, and they're just a great, like, housewarming gift, or just a I want to get to know you type gift without breaking the bank. I think they're not that expensive. They might be $10 to $15 if they're even that. So, I'm waiting for a couple of dogs to come in. And you may notice over here that my basil is pretty much dead, except for one. And this one is actually starting to root. What I've been doing every day is filling new water to get his roots going. And then I'm going to actually transplant that one basil into a pot and start growing it again. Because he did really, really well. Jasper, do you need to go out? Yeah, I've got some dogs outside. You can still, I don't know if you guys, yeah, you can't because this is blocking, but there's still a little bit of snow. We're supposed to go up to 40 degrees today, so hopefully that'll all melt. Yeah, my husband just said it's 36, so it is over freezing right now. So I'm going to take you guys into the living room for a second. And I haven't posted this video yet. I'm going to post it. And we're going to talk Christmas cactuses. And I'm going to set you guys down. It might be a little awkward because you are in my living room now. Now, this is a cactus. And you might be wondering, why isn't it blooming? Well, this is actually an Easter cactus. This is different from a Christmas cactus because this usually will bloom more in the springtime than it will in the wintertime. And not all cactuses like this are created equal. They're very different cactuses. But I do have a Christmas cactus that, again, Whole Foods was nice enough and donated. And this one right here does have some blooms on it. And I'm going to show you the bloom. Now, he kind of just finished blooming, but I'm looking to see if there's any other. Yeah, there are little flowers on him. Like he's got a little, oh, that budded out. But there's a little flower right here. So this is what they call a traditional Christmas cactus. This is an Easter cactus. So I'm going to show you guys kind of what the difference is. If you look at the Christmas cactus's leaves, you'll notice that these are much, much bigger than these are. So this is an Easter cactus. This is actually a Christmas cactus. And I need to transplant him. I'm probably going to transplant him Friday into a nicer pot. And you kind of want to do that when you buy Christmas cactuses like that. Now, these are non-toxic for animals, so you can safely give these as gifts or bring them into your home and not have to worry about whether or not you're going to harm your four-legged pet. They do really well. Same with these. These are also non-toxic to cats and dogs. So, and they're just a cute, cute way to bring live plants into the house. Now, the Christmas cactus does require some care, and a lot of people have a tendency to either overwater them or put them in and leave them in direct sunlight. Now, mine's in a south-facing window right now because it needs some light, because it had been sitting in the store for so long. But to get them to rebloom, temperature, sunlight, and shade are what those type of plants really need. Come on, guys. And I will, next year, around the holidays, I'll let you know if he actually is going to bloom. Now, I can change his bloom schedule, and that may happen once I do replant them. Usually, if you replant a Christmas cactus, it takes them about a month to even 2 months to fully get used to their new thing. And that can change when they bloom or not. So, also at this point, if you do have your house plants, you want to keep them on a fairly regular watering schedule. Now, cactuses don't require a lot of water. However, the Christmas cactus does require a little bit more watering, especially if this time of the year it has blooms on it. If it has blooms on it, you want to check more frequently on when to water it. And it'll let you know. If the top 2 layers feel dry, then give it a little boost of water. You don't have to overwater it. Christmas cactuses do not like to be submerged in a lot of water. Just moisten all of the soil. And you can even use the spray bottle and spray the leaves and stuff to keep them natural. Now, the rest of your house plants, like the spider plant and the orchid, they take a lot of water. And usually for the orchids, what I recommend, and I think that's it for my doggies. I think everybody's in. I'm going to make sure. Usually for my orchids, I do those once a week, and you can do it one of 2 ways. You can either directly water it or let water run in your sink onto your orchid. And the one thing you want to avoid is you do not want to use ice cold water. Lukewarm water is fine for orchids because they're tropical. So usually I'll let them sit in running water for a couple of minutes, and then you want to drain your orchids. Now, a lot of times if you buy a new orchid from a home nursery or from even a grocery store, if you go to a big box grocery store and you go into their floral section, a lot of times what you'll find is that the orchids will be in a moss. You really want to get them out of the moss because what the moss does is it holds on to the moisture and it can actually rot your rooting system for your orchids. So, rule of thumb, take a couple of ice cubes. Usually 3 or 4 ice cubes per week is enough for your orchids. And those two do require a good amount of sunlight, but they don't want to be in direct hot sunlight. So if you live in an area that gets a lot of sunlight in the house and it gets really hot, orchids will let you know very quickly with their leaves. They'll start to brown and shrivel that they're too warm. So you always want to make sure that the orchids are kept in a cool area of your house. Now, I know it's hard for me to talk Christmas trees, and I did that when we decorated, and of course you're hearing Kona upstairs. He's on a whistling binge. But if you have a live tree, make sure daily you go to the base, you feel how much water that it has in there, and then you adjust the water content as needed. Usually I give it, if this wasn't a live tree, and it's not, it's an artificial, but usually every day to every day and a half, you need to water your Christmas tree to keep it fresh. Now, we're going to talk wreaths, and I don't have a live wreath yet on the door. Those don't require any type of maintenance. But what you do want to do, if you're hanging a live Christmas tree wreath on your front door for the holidays, is you want to, one, make sure that it's getting a little bit of sunlight and that it's being kept cool. So I have a double door. I have the main door, and I'll show you. That's the main door, and then I have the screen door on the other side of that. Because the screen door has glass window pane on it, it will keep the wreath a little bit more decorated. You can certainly, once a week, take the wreath down, dunk it in water, and allow it to just get moisture that way. It won't grow, but it will preserve your wreaths for a while. Now, once they're fully decorated, obviously you don't want to do that because you don't want to ruin your decorations that are on your wreath. But they require very little work, and they will turn brown quicker than your Christmas tree because you're not constantly watering them. But with a little care, your holidays will be fabulous, and you'll have a great growing season. So I'm going to close out this Gardening with Joel video. We might do another special one maybe towards the end of the month. Towards the holiday or a little after the holiday. There's really not going to be any updates. It's too cold to grow anything right now. And it's too early to start growing any type of vegetable or anything. As for planting outside, unless you live below Tennessee, so if you live in a southern state, obviously you can plant. Right now we had our first really hard freeze, so you cannot plant anything in the ground. Now it's too cold for that. So just wait until the springtime. As a matter of fact, I never did get to do the fire bushes. Those are now going to have to wait for springtime, and my husband and I will prune those back. So, I want to thank you guys for watching. I want to welcome all of my newcomers, my old comers alike. I love having you guys. Leave comments down below on what plants you have in your house currently. If you are having problems, if you're one of those people that you can look sideways at a plant and it just dies, leave it down below and I'll try to help you on how not to kill a plant. And that concludes today's Gardening with Joel video. I'll see you on the next video.